Hello, friends, brothers, and sisters in the Lord. Welcome to Pathways of Hope, a daily reflection on the gospel and the hope that it brings to us in these times. My name is Ted, and I'll be sharing some reflections on the gospel for today. Today is January 23, 2021, Saturday, and the gospel for today is taken from Mark chapter 3, verses 20 to 21. The gospel today is very short. There are only 2 verses. It speaks about 2 things. First, the great activity of Jesus up to the point of not even having time to eat. And 2, the adverse reaction of Jesus' relatives to the point of thinking that he was out of his mind. In verse 20, we hear that Jesus returned home to Capernaum, as he is no longer staying in Nazareth. That is where the crowds went, and they were of such number that Jesus and his disciples could not even find the time or the place to eat. This led to the adverse reaction of his family. In the Revised Standard Version translation, this reaction is expressed in these words in verse 21. He is beside himself. But in the New International Version, it reads more directly. He is out of his mind. And we hear that his family seized him to remove him from the crowds. Jesus encountered resistance and lack of understanding, even from his family members. Perhaps they were thinking that it was for his own good that they removed him from the crowd so that he could eat and recharge himself. Or perhaps they were thinking that if they removed him and brought him back to Nazareth, the crowds would no longer bother them. Whatever the reason was, the consequences of their action was to prevent Jesus from interacting with the crowd. In our discipleship and in our mission, we've all encountered situations like Jesus did, where our family or relatives or those closest to us become an obstacle to our discipleship and mission, even without them knowing about it. How many times have we, like Jesus, been removed from the crowd for our own good? How should we deal with this situation? Jesus gives us the way. When his relatives try to take hold of him, to take him back home, he reacts. In Mark chapter 3, verses 33 to 35, Jesus is told that his mother and brother are outside. He reacts by saying, "Who are my mother and my brethren?" And then he points to the crowd. "Here are my mother and my brethren. Whoever does the will of God is my mother and sister and brother." Instead of remaining closed up in his small immediate family, Jesus extends his family. He creates community. He asks the same thing of those who want to follow him. It is a call to mission for those who choose to follow Jesus. We cannot remain in our comfort zones, our families, closed up in our own cocoon. We are called to be in the world, though not of the world. And in so doing, as Jesus did, we will encounter many who are unlike us, many who will not like us. We will encounter the lost, the least, and the last. We will encounter the marginalized, the oppressed, the deprived. As Jesus did, we are called to expand our small families and to create larger communities, spreading the faith, increasing the hope, and expressing love. I pray today for the grace to look beyond the comfort of my small immediate family and to spread the faith, increase hope, and express love in the many communities of believers that Jesus will lead me to. I pray that you may be blessed with that same grace. Friends, if you have been made a little bit more hopeful by this short commentary, please do spread that hope by sharing this short reflection. This has been Pathways of Hope. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.